welcome everybody to a Burn Your Boats Wealth Timely 10 version where it's never 10 minutes, but we try our best. I'm Clark Lunt, and today, everyone, I'm feeling good. I just finished my first cup of coffee. I'm trying to wean down my caffeine, so I'm doing either decaf or the half-calf coffees. I always thought that the decaf coffee was stupid. I thought it was like the non-alcoholic beer, but in all reality, I like the taste of coffee, and if I can wean down the caffeine, then I feel like I'm ahead. So I've had my half-calf coffee today. I ended up just booking a 3-week Euro trip to Croatia and Italy, so I'm excited about that. And again, that's all due to being able to buy real estate, hold real estate, which gives you more freedom, which gives you more time freedom, it gives you more financial freedom. But that's not the point of this podcast today. So what I'm here to talk about today is over the last couple of years, as David and I have talked about on a lot of our shows, we used to have a kind of fix and flip business where we sold turnkey rentals to kind of a group out on the West Coast, right? It was a passive investment for them. It was a very active investment for us. However, our boats got burned. Interest rates went up. We could not sell properties where they actually cash flowed positively and we were able to make a profit in any kind of consistent fashion, and our boats got burned. So over the last couple of years, I've been trying to kind of figure out what the next pivot is. Definitely tried and still am doing some developing, have started a few different businesses. So today, what I want to do is talk about how the business that I'm currently in the trenches right now, building this business. And I wanted to give some takeaways that I'm seeing as I've kind of evolved over the years. Okay. So earlier on, a few weeks ago, I sat down and I actually wrote down all the businesses that I've been a part of that I've started, whether it was just me or it was me with a partner or multiple partners. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've actually started 13 businesses. Okay. Now, a lot of them overlap. A lot of them have to do with real estate, but I've started buy and hold businesses. I've held properties with 6 different partners over the years. Some have worked out better than others. None of them have gone horribly bad, so I feel lucky about that. I've done flipping. I've done some development on the real estate side. I've actually been a part of an insurance business, a property and casualty business that we started. I've been a part of a hard money business. I've been part of a property management business that I started with a partner. And now I'm in the process of starting a home service business. So it's definitely a bit of the flavor of the day. You hear it a lot. You hear a lot of these guys talking about it, girls talking about it in terms of the boring businesses, all the, the Gen Xers are retiring and that what are they going to do with that HVAC business or that, the exterior cleaning business, right? Whatever that looks like, the landscaping business, the roofing business. So as I've been building this business and I've been just bootstrapping this thing, okay, I'm not buying a business, I'm actually building it, but I'm approaching it in a different fashion than I have the previous businesses. And it just comes with experience, right? Is because I want to be able to build something that has a foundation. It's not built on a house of cards. It has documentation. It has systems. It has processes in place from the very get-go. Here, I'm going to talk to you about 3 or 4 things that I feel like I'm doing differently, that I'm looking at it differently, that hopefully you can take away if you're considering going after and starting a business. I don't care if it's an e-commerce business. I don't care if it's a home service business. It doesn't matter. You have a widget that you need to be able to market, you need to be able to sell, you need to be able to price it appropriately, you need to be able to have help to be able to get this product to market and service your clients. So it's all kind of the same, okay? So first thing that I noticed is that I didn't just emotionally go and say, I want to start a business because it feels good, right? So I started this home service based business that will be in Tampa, Florida, because I spent probably almost 2 years going into rooms, going into masterminds, going on podcasts, talking to friends, talking to family, talking to people that were a lot smarter than me that are in these businesses. Let's just pretend you wanted to start an HVAC business, okay? Well, you need to understand a couple things, right? You need to understand, A, is there demand? So if we go back to Econ 101, is there an actual demand for HVACs in your town, right? And then how difficult is it to run that business, right? Well, that's very subjective, right? We're all different. We have different skill sets. If I was going to start an HVAC business in fill in the blank town, I would want to go talk to as many HVAC people as I could. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to be in that specific town, but I would want to talk to them and find out, Is it feasible? How stressful is it? How much cash do you have to put in? How much cash do you have to keep constantly redeploying into the business? How hard is it to get employees to work for you? Should you do subcontractors or should you bring you two employees in? What are the pros and the cons, right? So I would want to understand first, is this even a business I even want to be in? And instead of me just starting the business, right, and just kind of ripping the Band-Aid off, why don't I go cheat off some other playbooks and find out if people that are actually doing it right now, if they like it, if it fills their soul, if they feel like it's scalable, okay? And then if I found something that I like, now I'm going to go look into the area that I plan on servicing and seeing, is there demand, right? Are people searching for it on Google? Are people looking for it? Like, how many competitors are there? Are the competitors good? Are they well positioned marketing wise? So like if you go on Google or you go on their Instagram or their Facebook, do they keep updating their pictures? Do they keep updating posts, right? How many reviews do they have? Are the reviews good? Do they respond to the reviews? So if I can check the box to say, I like this business, it sounds like something I'd be good at. These inefficiencies in my current market, it's a fragmented market. So maybe I can come in and quickly use my marketing skills to get this business in front of more people's eyeballs to be able to pick up the phone and call me, right? So that is the first thing I would ever do, right? Is again, I always come back to who, not how. Who can I talk to that can save me a lot of time, money spent, energy spent, maybe if I'm chasing after something that's really not a good fit for me. And so that's the first thing I did before I even cared at all about anything else, okay? The next thing that I did is as I'm building it, I am documenting everything. I have a spreadsheet that says every little step. I don't care if the step is literally like go to UPS and print off business cards. I'm going to put in print off business cards, how much it costs me, how do I start a website? Who's going to host the domain? Every little small step I am documenting, and then I'm putting who is in charge of that. For example, I'm starting this home business company with a partner. So then I put on there, it's my duty to go to UPS and get the business cards, or it's your duty, right? And then a due date. When is that going to be due by? I have, just so you know, I have about 70 things that I have on a spreadsheet now. It started with zero. It just started with a blank spreadsheet, and now it's 70 things, and it's much more robust. It has website connections. It has how much. It has the different options. And now, guess what happens? If I were to ever start another business that maybe had synergy with this one, now I don't have to restart all over again. And I have a great roadmap, okay? So that I can then go get help, probably hire some VAs to do a lot of these things for me. But because this is me starting it brand new, I want to learn it. I want to see, I want to do all those different things, okay? So document everything along the way because it's going to make it easier for the next venture you have. Like I said, I've started 13 businesses, right? Probably a good chance I'll start a 14th business, but hopefully not anytime soon, right? I want to stay focused and not get so shiny red ball syndrome. Okay. So the next thing is that with those 70 things, right? So I'm going to go back to the 70 things I need to do to get this company off the ground is it becomes overwhelming. I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs that want to start a business or buy a business, and they don't even know where to start. They're like, look, I've got all these things on a spreadsheet I need to do. Which one do I do first, right? So I think it's good to really sit down and write down everything you think that you need to do to get this business off the ground. Now, I went and found someone that is already doing this before me. So guess what he did? He handed me all the stuff I really need to do. Okay. Now his business is always going to never be a carbon copy of what I see. So I'm always going to change it a little bit. But again, why would I go and recreate the wheel if I could just go tap someone on the shoulder and say, hey, would you mind sharing your playbook with me? Would you mind spending some time with me? Did I have to pay for this? I did. And you know what? I'm going to 100x whatever I spent on that because he is saving me so much time, so much heartache, right? So I took his playbook with all his to-do things to start, all the different websites to go to, all the different contacts to go for here, how to start an LLC, how to create a website, all of those things, right? So now where do you start with each one, right? I think the easiest thing to do is say, okay, what are two things I can do today that are going to help me, that are required for me to start this business, right? So for example, like things as obvious as a phone number, right? Well, I don't care how good your pay-per-click ads are or your Google profile or your Instagram, if someone can't pick up the phone and actually call you, right? So that's kind of obvious. But if you chunk it down into tiny little minuscule starting steps and say, I need a phone number. So today I'm going to get a phone number through eVoice, Google Voice, Ring Central, whatever the different platforms are that you want to go to. And then I'm going to go talk to eVoice and Ring Central and Google Voice, see who has the best deal, see who has the most bells and whistles. And then I'm going to link that in. So I'm going to save all that information. So all that due diligence and all that hard work I'm putting in right now is now documented. Okay. And then the next thing. So instead of getting overwhelmed, just pick two things. The first two things you need to do, no matter how small they are, like printing off a business card, creating a business card. How do you create a business card? Do you want to, I went on and just used like Vistaprint. They do it for free. They give you all these ideas. For me, I'm much more of a better done than perfect type person. I need a business card with my name on it, with my company logo, and a website, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure I can change it in the future, but I need to have a business card. I need to have a phone number to get going, right? So there you go. There's my day. There's my Monday. Business card and get a phone number. And then the next day I check those off, right? And I move to the next two things. So it's much more of a marathon, right? It's not like you have to do 26 things. You're much better focusing on just getting one or two or three things done each day instead of half doing a whole bunch of stuff. Because I bought so many houses where someone started painting one bedroom and fixing a toilet and then ripping the cabinets out of the kitchen, and they never finish any of the rooms. And then the house is a disaster and they get unmotivated, right? They don't have the motivation to want to finish that house. And then they end up selling it at a discount to someone like me because it looks like a clown show in there, right? And this is no different when you're starting your business, is you need to be able to start something and finish it in a very timely fashion and then move on. Don't get distracted by having 20 things that you want to do all at once. So the next thing is that from the get-go, we need to look at this thing like it's going to be big, right? Do I know how big this home service company is going to be? I really don't, but an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So instead of just starting on a Google sheet, I'm going to invest in a customer relations manager. Okay. Every industry is going to have kind of a CRM that is geared toward that industry. Okay. So like, for example, the CRM that I have, when we go out there to perform the home service at the person's house, they call in the client. Now I save their information. I have their phone number, their email. I can create an invoice inside of the CRM. I can click a button and say, hey, Tony, the home service guy, is on his way, right? And then Tony, once he's at the job, once he's about to finish, he can click a button and it pings me that says, hey, Clark, send them the invoice right now. I'm finishing up right now. It's going to be $500. Okay. That automation, right? We're in a time where if you're just doing all this on a Google spreadsheet, like you are going to fall behind the minute you have more than a couple of clients at one time. So it's much easier to set that up now, even if you don't really need it in the beginning, because you're going to set yourself up for success down the road. It's not that expensive, everyone. It's $100 a month. It's $200 or $300 a month. It is going to make your life so much better. Your bookkeeper is going to love you. Your clients are going to love you because the client experience is going to be so much better. I'm going to leave it at that. Those are just some of the things that have stuck out at me that I have seen as I'm personally in the trenches right now. I am planting the seeds, digging the ditches, building this business. And it's not easy. It's tiresome. I'm working at 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm on calls. I'm doing a lot of things and trying to juggle, my normal money making activities while I'm building this in parallel. So it's not easy. I'm working weekends, but it's going to be worth it, right? Like I call my own shots. And I'm taking the experience that I have over years of running great businesses and completely failed businesses. Of those 13 businesses, at least half of them failed and I fell on my freaking face and it sucked. But I learned lessons, right? And these are the lessons that I've learned. And again, I'm going to learn more lessons, right? I've still got a lot to build this business, but for the time being, those are the things that really stuck out at me, is not to get overwhelmed with 50 tasks and just focus on one or two a day and start it and finish it before I move to the next one. Make sure you're spending time in the right rooms, talking to people that have blazed the trail before you, that have done this, that have bought the t-shirt, that have been there, have made the mistakes. Ask them questions. People by nature want to help you, or showing that you want to create the effort to go out and be an entrepreneur, succeed on your own, hire people, help your community, give clients a better experience, right? I hope this helps. I'm right in the thick of it right now, everyone. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you supporting us as always. I love the feedback. I think that we're making a difference in people's lives right now, and that's what really drives me to continue to do these episodes alone and with David as well too, so that we can bring cool guests, great ideas. And at the end of the day, I hope if I could impact one person to give them confidence to know that you too can go build your own business or buy your own business. I got my degree in broadcast journalism, guys. I wasn't the smartest kid in the room. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. With that, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Well, that is a wrap for today, folks. We hope that this episode really gave you some actionable insights. Because remember, you navigate the world, it requires more than just luck. You're going to need strategy, you're going to need knowledge, and of course, you're going to need a little dash of courage. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to and YouTube as well. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Burn Your Boats Wealth, and leave comments, talk to us about things that you want us to talk about or things you disagree with us on. We appreciate all that type of insight. Your support really fuels our fire to bring you even more valuable content. So we appreciate you. We appreciate the support, and we will see you next time.
You've been listening to the Burn Your Boats Wealth podcast with Clark Lunt and David Shaw. We would love to hear from you. Please reach out at contact@burnyourboatswealth.com with comments, questions, and if you have a topic you would like Clark and David to discuss on an upcoming episode. We would very much appreciate it if you took the time to rate and review Burn Your Boats on your favorite podcast listening app, and make sure to follow and share on social media. Content in Burn Your Boats Wealth podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not legal or financial advice. Please review our legal disclaimer at burnyourboatswealth.com. Thank you and have a great day.